Hello, brothers and sisters. Hope you're well today. So, let's start here. And I find this very, very scary picture, okay? Because what I see in this picture is how they can take it from human to AI robot, right? Because they're saying, look, it's so dangerous. We've got to be behind the screen. We can't even, you know what I mean? So, what they'll do, they'll replace that woman with a robot at some point, yeah? And then you won't have to worry about any of this protective shit, okay? So, that's how I see that playing out. Right, so let's start here. So the British Airways boss steps down as the industry faces the worst crisis. Now, people like Dolo were talking about this months ago, and obviously with lockdowns, what it means is people can't travel. So therefore, the airlines are going to see that problem, and they're going to suffer the consequences. So I'm not going to feel too sorry for this guy because I'm sure he's lined his pockets. They probably all knew about this beforehand and they line their pockets and then they run off and leave the economy to get destroyed. So, yeah, that's what's happening there. Reminder that the owner of British Airways is facing a fine of 183.4 million after a data breach which saw personal details belonging to 500,000 people compromised. Okay, so let's not feel sorry for them. So we know about this now, three-tier lockdown systems, and they're aiming to get this under control by Christmas. So yesterday they were saying 6 months. Now they're talking crap. They're trying to change it to spin it like it's going to get solved before Christmas. Yeah, right. The supposed event you haven't been able to control up to this point, but now you reckon that you're going to be able to have it controlled by Christmas. I think that's pure spin, pure media spin. All right. The Spanish Prime Minister has said he hopes to bring the outbreak in the capital under control within the next 2 weeks. So now this guy is saying he can get it controlled within 2 weeks. All this time, but now he can sort it out in 2 weeks. I think, again, just spin. All right. They realise that they put everyone in a negative yesterday saying that it's going to be a 6 month lockdown. So now they're trying to spin it like it's going to be done within 2 weeks or before Christmas. Lord, a load of rubbish. Now, this is horrific, okay? So there will be investigations into the use of do not resuscitate orders in care homes during the first wave, amid fears families were not consulted and also concerns that they could still be in place. Doctors told care home managers to apply the orders to many residents at once. This meant residents were unlikely to be taken to hospital for life-saving care. So people are dying as a result of this, whether it be from the do not resuscitate orders or the fact that they're not having their life-saving care. It really doesn't get much bigger than this, people. Let's stop arguing about all the irrelevant shit and realise that people are dying through no fault of their own. And as a civilised society, we should be doing everything within our power to make sure that this does not happen. I hope you do agree with that. Again, a horrific story. Mother of 16-month-old girl battling leukemia says that the restrictions are breaking her family apart as just one parent can be with daughter in hospital at a time, and her four siblings are banned from visiting. That just tears my heart apart because that is just horrible when you've got tragedy and you want to be able to comfort one another. They're not letting you do that. So it's emotional, psychological torture, and it needs to stop right now. Okay, we saw someone on the march mention this, that people are dying alone, and it's unforgivable, and as a proper society it should never happen, and we need to stop it. Shocking moment, two female nurses brawl in hospital cafe as they wrestle on the ground. So why are they showing you this? Why does it even need to be shown? Who leaked it? Why did they do it? Are they just, trying to panic people to say that even nurses can't get on with each other? So what hope have we got? I honestly don't know, but I question the reason for showing that, to be quite honest with you. The coronavirus pandemic is fueling a rise in technology to perform roles once occupied by humans. So remember what I said about the doctor and the nurse earlier? Well, this is proving it, okay? So here they're admitting that certain industries are going to be occupied by robots instead of humans. Okay, so they're going to take over the job. So what does that mean for these humans? They lose their job? Do they go on benefits? Do they get furlough? What does it mean? At the moment, we don't know, but we all know that Richard Branson, Elon Musk have been telling us about universal basic income because there are so many robots and AI taking over jobs. And here they are proving it to you, okay? So let's go into detail about the tier thing, right? So tier 2 is high risk, and they put a ban on households mixing indoors and overnight stays. Okay, so let's say that you don't live with your mum and you have to travel to go and see her and you need to stay the night because it's a long travel home. Well, you can't do that now. You can't do that now, according to the government. But like we've said for months, how can they police this? Oh yeah, they can't. The only reason they can get away with this is if people consent. If they all do the opposite, they cannot arrest everyone. So if we all set one day where we all go out and we mix and we do the opposite of what they say, what could they do? And I'm telling you, we need to do this. The more we allow them to do this to us, the more they will do it. They'll say, well, they're accustomed to it now. So we need to push back, all right? From 5 p.m. on Wednesday, hundreds of pubs in the northwest could be closed for 4 weeks. They say 4 weeks, but yesterday they were saying 6 months. So it's probably all up in the air, but I would put my house on it that it's going to be 6 months, all right? Now, thankfully, some people are trying to oppose it. So pub bosses prepare to launch legal challenge against draconian and dramatic lockdown restrictions, and they demand that the government shows the scientific evidence that they are based on. Brilliant. That's what you need to do. You need to ask them for the facts and the figures and the evidence and the proof. And if they can't do it, then you oppose what they say. You only do it if they can prove what they are saying is true. And we know that they can't. So this is good that people are actually trying to oppose it. Okay? Long may it continue. China plans to test the entire city of Qingdao, which is a population of 8 million, for CV in just 5 days. So they're going to try and test a population of 8 million people in 5 days. Why? Because supposedly they found 12 infections linked to a hospital. So because of 12 infections, allegedly, they're now going to test a whole city of 8 million people within 5 days. Okay? Unrelated, but dozens of attackers armed with metal bars and fireworks stormed Paris police station as ministers blame drug trafficking gangs for violent raid. Now, what it reminds me of is when the George Floyd thing happened, they attacked the police station and the police station went down. Now, the difference is they probably wanted that to happen, so allowed it to happen, but they didn't want this to happen, so therefore it didn't. So it was just nice story for the media, but it was never going to be sort of overrun, okay? So yeah, again, to summarise, this idiot here reckons that the lockdowns could be lifted by Christmas. I think that's a load of crap. If they've taken all this time to not be able to control it, why would they be able to control it in the space of, let's say, a month and 2 months? Yeah? What a load of rubbish. The culture secretary said the purpose of doing this is to ensure that we get the virus under control so that by the time we get through to after Christmas, we are in that position where it's under control. Indeed, I hope it will be sooner than that. Rubbish. You're all going to make loads of money because you know what's going on. You know what businesses are going to fold and which are going to profit. And the ones that are going to profit are going to be ones like Amazon, okay? And that's why they're getting their drones going, their Amazon Go store. That's why Tesla is getting his unmanned cars going. I'm telling you, they're using this to start a new world order with technology and surveillance becoming part of your daily life. So yeah, this is quite interesting. Mystery as unmanned 300,000 spy ship washes up off UK, but no country is claiming it. Now, supposedly, it only is used by the UK, this kind of thing. So, what on earth it's doing, I have no idea. But the fact that they're telling you about it is interesting as well. Now, this is probably the most important news that we've ever witnessed in man's time. Infamous swearing parrots to be split up after constantly egging each other on. What a load of rubbish. I can't believe that someone actually probably got paid to make that story, to report on that story about swearing parrots having to be split up like children in a classroom. Now, someone close to me told me about this story a while ago, but it's popped up again. So, face mask rule breakers forced to dig graves and climb into coffins. Now, this is supposedly in Indonesia, where they give rule breakers a choice of a fine or community service, which involves digging graves and lying down in coffins. Now, my point is, I doubt this is happening. I think what they probably do is they hire a bunch of people to go out and do this, film it, so that people think, oh, I must wear this mask. If I don't wear this mask, I'm going to be digging a grave and climbing into a coffin. So basically, it's just a way of scaring people into submission. It probably never happened, probably never will, but just the fear and the threat of it makes people do what they want them to do. Okay? The cemetery scares people, and when they're scared, they won't break the rules and they will wear a mask. One villager who was caught not wearing a mask said he was frightened and annoyed. So he's a little bit annoyed and peeved off that he had to be digging a grave and lying a coffin in a grave, yeah? A little bit annoying, you know. He wanted to be at home watching Match of the Day, so he's a little bit annoyed. As cold sets in, Spanish schools face dilemma. Leave windows open or risk contagion. Now, someone on my channel mentioned that their daughter who goes to school keeps telling them that they're cold. And it's probably because they're leaving the windows open. Now, they're doing this when it's going to get really cold. So what's going to happen? More and more people will say, I'm not feeling well. And what will they do? They'll blame it on CV. It's obvious, isn't it? They're opening the windows so that people get cold, lower immune system, get ill, and then they will blame it on CV. That's what I personally think. And like I said, someone on my channel is saying it's happening in England as well. So my advice was, if you could possibly take your children out and homeschool them, you'll be doing them a favour, you'll be doing yourself a favour, okay? Be confident. You can teach your child what they need to know. You have internet resources, you have books you can buy, you can club together with other people who are homeschooling. There's lots of options, but to me, the option of taking children to school where the windows are open and it's freezing, where they can't be picked up by a teacher if they fall over, if they're told that they're not allowed to hug each other, their friends, as children, I think that's a crime against humanity, and I don't accept it. I don't accept that new normal, and the fact that they're targeting the children is disgusting, sadistic and horrific. On a brighter, shinier note, thieves snatch an 18-carat gold toilet valued at $1.8 million from Blenheim Palace. So that gives a new meaning to the word sit on the throne, doesn't it? Sit on the golden throne. It previously was used by more than 100,000 visitors at the Guggenheim Museum. The toilet was pulled directly from its housing, causing significant damage to the palace. So yeah, that was a daily review, my friends, and we'll leave it with this one. This is quite interesting. Again, someone on my channel told me about this, and I saw it on a website that I go on. So basically, the father of our idiot Prime Minister, Boris Knobhead Johnson, his father, Stanley, wrote a book in 1982 about the rise of a mysterious virus and one man's fight to stop a deadly pandemic. So it's a bit ironic that, you could say that maybe they're talking about Boris because Boris's one-man fight to stop the deadly pandemic. And how ironic that the father of that so-called man is the one who wrote it all the way back in 1982. I'm probably going to look into that book a bit more to see if there's any more information. Yeah, so that was that, guys. So yeah, just let me leave you with this message, all right? We are now approaching very serious times. Okay, we are approaching serious times where people around us are scared to death that they're going to catch something from the air, which we all know is a load of rubbish. Okay, they're trying to scare all the children as well. And what we need to do is when we're out and we're not wearing our mask, we need to be as good people as we can. We need to smile and help and support and probably be even nicer than we usually would. We need to show these people that we are decent people and we've got the right... we're on the righteous path, which is to try and help each other, okay? We're not trying to scare people. We're not trying to downplay anything. What we're trying to do is make sure that people are safe and healthy. And it's not safe and healthy to be stuck in your house, to not get fresh air, to not have social contact, yeah? I don't know where it is now, but there was... Yeah, here we go. This is very upsetting. Spanish seniors on the CV pandemic. If the virus doesn't kill us, then sadness will. Now, we were saying this a long time ago, okay? People need social interaction, especially if they live on their own, okay? So I don't know what the solution to this is. Probably it would be what we need to do is look around our neighbourhood, see people who we think are vulnerable, who aren't getting enough social interaction, knock on their door, ask them if they're all right, ask them if they need anything from the shop, ask them if they need any work done in their garden. Don't ask them for any money. We're doing this because we're good people and we want to help one another, okay? So that's what my advice would be. Look around your area, see what people are vulnerable, who do you think needs more, who needs some time, a little 5-minute chat, a cup of tea, whatever it might be. There's plenty of things we can do, but the worst thing we can do is do nothing and just allow these people to suffer in pain, whether it be mentally or physically, okay? We have a responsibility as fellow human beings to look after one another. And the reason I say that is because the government... The ones who control your mind, govern your mental state, do not care about us, and they never have. They're there to keep the power for the rich and to keep the poorer poorer, okay? And that's why they're trying to destroy the economy, and that's why they're trying to kill off a lot of vulnerable and elderly people, and we've got to do our best to try and stop it whichever way we can, all right? So I'm going to leave you with the golden toilet. All right, because that's where most of this news belongs, in the toilet, because it's a load of rubbish. It's a load of scaremongering, fear-mongering rubbish. We are decent people and we're here to spread love, to spread knowledge and support one another. So let's keep doing it. Thank you to all my subscribers. You mean the world to me, the fact that you support me and the channel and one another. It's not just about me, it's about everyone on this channel. We're all like a family and we're all in this struggle against the horrible, horrible situation that we're in, that we never thought we would be in. All right? Whether you believe in God or not, I wish you all the best. God bless you. The Creator bless you. Peace and blessings to all. Take care, my friends. Peace for now.